a look at veterans' perspectives on suicide rates after returning from service.
Ukraine is still fighting to find survivors. More on that coming up.
Cold weather in Denton sticking around this week. More on that later in the show.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Thanks for joining us on ntTV News at Noon. Yo soy Sebastián Nava.
And I'm Avery Callens. On Sunday night, a shooting occurred at the University of Virginia that killed 3 students and injured 2 others. Today, they returned to normal classes. Many students report that despite the impact of the tragedy and the suddenness of the return, they managed to find comfort and peace with each other.
I think part of me was expecting, are people going to try to just pretend like nothing happened? And, I think that's the complete opposite. I think people wanted to reflect, wanted to talk about this. It's a shared, trauma that we have.
Incident, they passed by memorials to honor those who have lost their lives just days ago. The university will hold an on-campus memorial event Saturday at the John Paul Jones Arena.
Uvalde CISD has named a new interim police chief nearly 3 months after the firing of former Chief Pete Arredondo. Arredondo was heavily criticized for the over 70-minute delay in confronting the gunman in the Robb Elementary School shooting that left 21 dead, including 19 children. The district board named Josh Gutierrez as the interim police chief. Gutierrez was recommended for the job by interim superintendent Gary Patterson, who he has worked with for almost 20 years in 2 separate districts. The district police force has been suspended for its operations since October 7th.
Veterans Day is the one day out of the year that we can take time to honor the veterans around us for sacrificing so much for our country. But it's important to recognize that even though many are no longer in combat, they are still facing a struggle that can only be understood by those who were there. ntTV's Kyle Orr has more.
Since September 11, 2001, veteran suicides have been on the rise. According to the USO, research shows that over 30,000 active duty personnel and veterans who served in the U.S. military after 9/11 have died by suicide. This means that in the last 20 years, military suicide rates are 4 times higher than the total number of deaths that occurred during U.S. military operations of that period. Although U.S. operations in Iraq and Afghanistan have dwindled, the effects of these wars on those who were there are everlasting.
We come back over here and people, especially the military, they expect us to be able to know how to just flip that switch, and it's not that easy.
There were a reported 6,146 veteran suicides throughout the country in 2020, which is a rate of over 16 veteran suicides per day. Unfortunately, it is not uncommon for many of today's veterans to have known a fellow service member who has taken their own life.
Lost one that I was really close to that I used to talk to whenever he'd been in a dark place and stuff like that, and he ended up taking his own life.
This leads many to wonder what can possibly be done to significantly reduce these numbers.
The whole mental health system nationwide is broken. There needs to be more like intensive care for people and more one-on-one time rather than here's some pills, take these, it's going to fix everything, and that's it.
The government has so many other things that it's got going on. It doesn't care about programs. It doesn't care whether we're committing suicide and blowing our brains out or not. They've got too many other things to worry about. So yes, we have to take care of it ourselves. I don't think there's any one solution.
If a veteran you know has thoughts of suicide or is showing signs of distress, please reach out to the Veterans Crisis Line by dialing 998 and then pressing 1. You can also reach the U.S. National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. As we get closer to the end of the semester and the end of this year, I can't help but to notice that so much has changed just in 2022.
Speaking of change, the weather has just been super crazy. We went from high 70s last week to now we're in the low 40s. But, hopefully let's check in with our weather anchor, Alec Rapp, who's right outside of our studios. So, how are you feeling, Alec?
I have to say it's not nearly as cold as I thought it would be. It's 52 degrees right now here in Denton, and as you can see, we have great sunny weather, clear skies. There's not a cloud in sight. It does feel a little bit cooler at 50 degrees. That wind speed's at 7 miles per hour, but all things considered, a really nice day right now here in Denton. And if we go ahead and take a look at tonight, it's going to be some similar temperatures at 49 degrees. Going to feel just a little bit cooler once again at 47 degrees. 5 mile per hour winds, but we once again have clear skies this evening. And then tomorrow around this time, it's going to get a little bit chillier. 46 degrees is the temperature. It's going to feel like 41, and a big reason for that, the wind speed is 12 miles per hour, and it's mostly cloudy, so that sun's going to go away. That's all for now. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alec. An earthquake in West Texas rocked the region yesterday afternoon. The earthquake registered at 5.4 on the Richter scale. The shock waves were felt as far out as 350 miles away in San Antonio, even canceling classes at San Antonio College. The aftershocks registered at 2.8 and 2.6. This was the third strongest earthquake in the state's history and the strongest to hit Texas since 1995.
Coming up, a look at Ukraine today after another attack last night.
And how one UNT student group made a name for themselves. Stay with us for more.
Man, I have all these non-perishable food items and I don't know what to do with them.
I don't have any food at all.
Do you have too many non-perishable goods?
Yeah.
Have you run out of food and can't get any more?
Yeah.
Well, don't have a cow? Head on down to the UNT Food Pantry. Located behind Crumley Hall and Diamond Eagle Student Resource Center, the Food Pantry is the place for UNT students to get all the food they need. You'll be utterly surprised by all the options they have there. From gluten-free to lactose intolerant, even vegan and vegetarian, they have it all. Go to studentaffairs.unt.edu/food pantry for more information.
Move on down to the UNT Food Pantry.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
Today, there are 4 dead in the Ukrainian city of Vilnius after a Russian missile strike hit the region of Zaporizhia. Alexander Sterik posted photos of the destroyed residential building where 4 victims have been found so far. Dozens of first responders are on the scene working to recover more.
Former President Donald Trump has announced he will run for presidency in the 2024 election. He previously served as the 45th President of the United States after defeating Hillary Clinton in the 2016 election. During his time as president, he faced impeachment twice and is currently under investigation by the Department of Justice. His daughter Ivanka Trump stated that she had no intention of joining her father's campaign, stating, quote, "I do not plan to be involved in politics. While I will always love and support my father going forward, I will do so outside of the political arena." Former President Trump's sons Eric and Donald Jr. are expected to remain at his side during the campaign run. You know, last week I made a comment about how, it's too warm to be fall, but now I miss the warm weather.
I completely agree. Let's toss it over to our weather anchor, Alec Rapp, to find out what we can expect from this week's crazy Texas weather.
Thanks, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look across North Texas. As you can see, we're kind of in the 50s all around, in that low to mid 50 degrees. Up in Paris, it is 49 degrees. That's the lowest in the area. Then the warmest in Stephenville is 57, 54 in Dallas and Fort Worth, and of course, 52 degrees right here in Denton. And let's go ahead and take a look across the state and the region. Once again, we're seeing some similar temperatures, more in the high 50s and then the high 40s as well. As you can see, the cooler temperatures, Amarillo 47, Oklahoma City 49. The warmer temperature, Shreveport is 57, Austin 56, Houston at 55. And let's go ahead and take a look at the 7-day forecast here for Denton. Tomorrow, it is going to be a high of 49 with a low of 32. Moving into Saturday, it goes back up into the 50s. 50 degrees is the high with a low of 27. That's the lowest temperature of the week. Then on Sunday, 53 degrees with a low of 38. Monday, 54. Then Tuesday, we finally get back up into the 60s, right at 60 degrees with a low of 45. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be 58 with a low of 45. And then on Thursday, 59 degrees, 42 is the low. However, we're going to have some AM showers, a 33% chance in the morning. So if you're going out in the morning, you might want to have a rain jacket or an umbrella on you. That's all from me. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Alec. A small and fairly new student organization at UNT, the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers, have been receiving multiple recognitions for their success. ntTV's Abraham Park has the story on the secrets to how they got here today.
So our next award is Outstanding New Chapter, which is University of North Texas. Unfortunately, they are not here, but they're here. I'm just kidding. Can I have you all on the stage, please?
The University of North Texas' very own student organization, SACE, also known as the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers, traveled to Atlanta, Georgia recently in October to attend the SACE National Conference. SACE chapters across different universities nationwide gathered to see the growth and the future of their national organization at this event, while also providing fun career opportunities and new scientific and engineering explorations. At this conference, the SACE chapter at UNT received an Outstanding New SACE Chapter Award for the recognition of hard work, time, and dedication to their organization. But how did this year-old small organization at UNT with only 40 members become so successful? I had a chance to sit down with the president of the SACE chapter at UNT, Amy Pham, to see her insight on how this organization became so successful.
So, SACE at UNT has been really successful this past year through our guidance from Christine, our onboarding chair, and Camille, our regional coordinator. We also got help from UTA, who's given us a lot of advice and resources to help us grow.
But not all of their success just comes from the help they receive, rather from the connections they make and the events they host.
So SACE at UNT provides events such as guest speakers. We brought in JP Morgan Chase, Texas Instruments, and American Airlines. We've also had social events such as the Lone Star Throwdown and a UNT UTA picnic for our members.
This SACE chapter's success only continues to grow as they also received UNT's prestigious BRIC Award for New Student Organization of the 2021-2022 school year.
New Student Organization for 21-22, the Society of Asian Scientists and Engineers.
As well as UNT Student Organization of the Month of November 2022. From ntTV News, I'm Abraham Park.
We'll show you a new and unique spot to grab your next cup of coffee.
And how UNT alumni look at the university now, many years later. We'll be right back.
Hey, listen to my flow to save some H2O. This my water rhyme, and this is how it goes. First, turn off the sink and take some time to think. When you waste water, our supply shrinks. When you take a shower, not more than an hour. Shoot for 10 minutes and save water power. Use a reusable bottle, smart like Aristotle. Ditch all the plastic and be a role model. And that was my H2O flow. Please remember how it goes, because if you don't, Earth will go. Oh no!
6, 7.
Hey, didn't see you there. Just finished my 100th rep. You ready to train?
Yeah!
You got your weights?
Yeah!
You got your energy drink?
Of course.
You got time to go to the Pole Recreation Center?
Yeah, what?
Listen, I didn't even graduate high school. I can't teach for the life of me.
Instead, UNT is offering workout classes at a moderate pace, including yoga, cycling, Pilates, and more.
Don't rely on your dad's old workout videos. Check out the UNT Rec Center today.
Year comes to a close, Denton is looking back on all they've accomplished and the plans for the upcoming year.
They are hosting an event for the Denton community to learn more about their city and get involved. Our live reporter Isabella Quintanilla is at the Denton Convention Center with more information on this event. Isabella?
Thanks, guys. Later this evening, the Denton will be hosting their 2022 State of the City event. The Denton City Council, city staff, and other community members will be coming together to share major milestones from the past year and key priorities for the future. And the best part is the event is free and open to the public. At 6, the city staff will be hosting an engagement fair to help residents learn about city services, programs, and events. Then at 7, Mayor Gerard Hudspeth will give a formal address highlighting Denton's growth and development and citywide accomplishments and goals. And finally, there will be a Q&A session with a panel, including the city's deputy city manager and assistant city managers. More information is available on the City of Denton website. The State of the City event goes until 8:30 tonight and will be located in the Equestrian Ballroom here at the Embassy Suites by the Denton Convention Center. So if you live in Denton, be sure to come on out and visit. That's all I have for today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Isabella, do you want to look at yourself while you drink your cup of coffee? Well, our Denton Eats anchor, Taylor Davis, has a place for you. Taylor?
Thanks, guys. Froth Coffee Bar is like no other with their wide variety of breakfast and lunch options and even energy drinks. Owner Mark Douglas tells us why he decided to open this unique coffee shop.
You know, a chain coffee shop, and it's like, this is crazy. You know, you've got all these budding communities that are popping up left and right, especially in North Texas, and there's, you know, there wasn't really any community hangout spots that we were used to. You know, it was like, hey, you know, you want to have a business meeting, you want to study, you want to just go, you know, hang out somewhere. That's, you know, that's what coffee shops are for. And so, you know, when we moved here, there really wasn't one to, you know, bring something to a community that that wasn't there. So that's really how Froth was born.
Along with their diverse menu, Froth also offers their frothables. With just a scan of a QR code, you can print a picture of almost anything on your latte. Froth caters to students by being so close to campus and by providing a comfy spot to study or even hold meetings. Some of their other menu items include macaroons, ice cream, flatbread pizza, and mimosas. Froth is open until 10 p.m. so they can satisfy your late night cravings as well. If you'd like to visit Froth and print your face on a cup of coffee, they're located on Eagle Drive behind Maple Hall. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Taylor. The world of film has been making incredible strides by reviving old films and spending decades to perfect their art. Today's Entertainment News features a film 40 years in the making and interviews with this year's biggest stars. CNN's David Daniel has more in Hollywood Minute.
Everyone here is the best there is. Who the hell are they going to get to teach us?
Top Gun Maverick's Monica Barbaro knew the film would be big, but she says she didn't expect to become obsessed with fighter jets, to have her character's own Barbie doll, or to be in one of the top 5 highest-grossing movies of all time at the domestic box office.
I did not expect this big of a
phenomenon. To hear Jerry Bruckheimer and Tom Cruise say it's the biggest movie they've ever made was the real, like, oh, okay.
Top Gun Maverick is now flying on 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, and DVD.
One day you're playing kick the can with kids named Flick and Schwartz.
I triple dog dare you!
And the next thing you know, you're a certified adult.
A Christmas Story gets an update as Peter Billingsley returns to star in and produce A Christmas Story Christmas, nearly 40 years after the iconic original debuted.
I understand the history of this movie as well as anyone, and I know that people feel that it's sacred to them, and, you know, a lot of it was, don't screw this up, kid. You know, like, if you're gonna do it, you want to try to do it right.
A Christmas Story Christmas debuts today on HBO Max. In Hollywood,
As the film industry has grown to be more successful this year than ever before, so has the world of sports. ntTV's Spencer Grant is here with us to share more about how alumni enjoy looking back at their alma mater. Spencer?
Thanks, guys. For many Mean Green alums, homecoming is a chance to remember their time on campus and share their reasons for supporting UNT.
Always draws a crowd, and here at UNT, it includes students from the past. With how much the campus has grown over the years, particularly the last few, the Mean Green alumni continue to come around and support, especially around this time. Seeing how much the environment has changed for the better since they've been students here, alumni proudly support the school that they once attended.
To see the growth is just astonishing, how the campus has grown, the buildings have grown, the student body has grown, and the spirit at the school has increased just every year to make it such a place where you can really brag, I'm from North Texas.
Because of how much UNT appreciates and values their alumni corps, these people make sure to come around and stay involved with the community as much as they can each year.
Just seeing how the learning landscape has changed, how we're connecting with students, the variety of programs, as I mentioned before, that we've expanded upon. It's just really interesting to see how the university has grown and the directions that it's moving in not just a physical environment, but also a virtual environment as well.
While the Mean Green won their annual homecoming game by a considerable margin, they suffered a loss at UAB the week after. Now there's only one game left in the Mean Green football season, and the team hopes to finish strong.
That's all I have for y'all. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Spencer. The Mean Green will be on Broadway this Thanksgiving for a special occasion. UNT Cheer will be a part of this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
I am super excited. I've always watched the Macy's Day Parade growing up, so just getting to be one of the performers in it is a super exciting feeling.
It didn't feel real at first, but now that we're about to leave, it's definitely really exciting to think that, you know, I could be on my family's TV screen back at home, so it's exciting.
Parade after receiving an invitation in the summer. You can watch the North Texas Cheer on Thanksgiving live from New York.
You know, it is so amazing to see how our programs here at UNT just absolutely thrive. And we actually have more news when it comes to sports.
You're right. Let's head over to our sports anchor, Gabby Pippins, to see what she has for us today. Gabby?
Thanks, guys. We'll be discussing the Cowboys game against the Packers, how the Mavericks season is going, and how our own Mean Green football season is coming to a close right after this.
Oh, sorry, man. Oh, sorry.
The Dallas Cowboys took on Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in Green Bay this Sunday. Now, this was meant to be an easy win for Dallas considering the Packers were 3-6 and the Cowboys had been on a win streak, but it all came down to the run defense. Now, this game began slow with neither team scoring in the first quarter, but things quickly heated up with a touchdown pass to both CeeDee Lamb and Dalton Schultz. And the Packers were also able to answer with 2 touchdowns of their own, which tied things at 14 for the half. Now, the Cowboys held off Aaron Rodgers and scored 2 more touchdowns of their own, gaining a 28-14 lead for the third quarter, but their defense cools off and allows for the Packers to come back and tie things yet again at 28. Now, unfortunately, the Packers did kick a field goal after the Cowboys were forced to punt in overtime, which resulted in a loss 28-31. Now, in other news, the Dallas Mavericks season has been off to a pretty good start, and they were able to add another win to their record Tuesday night when they took on the Los Angeles Clippers in the American Airlines Center. This game was huge for Mavs fans as there's been a rivalry brewing between the two teams, and the Mavs certainly did not disappoint. This game starts off strong with immediate energy as Dallas takes the lead to end the first quarter 30-15. Paul George and the Clippers do try to regain the lead several times, even getting within 2 points, but Luka Doncic and the Mavs cannot be stopped, and in the quarter, winning the game 103-101. And Luka is able to get yet another 30-plus point game with 35 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists, with Dorian Finney-Smith also shining with 21 points and 3 rebounds. Now, in other news, we have just discovered that the Rangers have just gotten one of the big games now. In 2024, they're going to host the All-Star Game. This is breaking sports news. Now, this is going to be huge for us because we are going to be able to see the All-Star Game here at home. So let's cheer on our Texas Rangers and wish the best for them. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Gabby. If you're looking for a new best friend, there are several adoption events happening this season in both the Denton and Dallas area. These several adoption events are held to get as many animals adopted as possible to free up space in shelters while getting the best resources around. I got to check out one of these events and interview Animal Control Officer Center Officer Hunt about the current adoption situation.
November 5th, Richardson, Texas hosted its second Furry Friends annual pet carnival. To get pets out of the shelter and into homes this holiday season, the carnival featured the Richardson Animal Services mobile adoption trailer, Top Dog Obedience School, and a handful of other vendors to provide resources for new or existing adoptees. As fun as the carnival is for pets and owners alike, it's not just for show. In fact, animal shelters are now more crowded than ever before. Animal Control Officer Hunt with Richardson Animal Services explains.
So right now we're feeling all the shelters are feeling the effects of COVID. Pretty much what happened is everybody started working from home, everybody went out and got animals, and then everybody went back to work. And that's how a lot of the dogs are getting out, or that's why a lot of surrenders are happening. And so all the shelters in DFW are completely full, and we're feeling the repercussions of COVID, and we probably will for the next 10 years. So please adopt, and if you are going to adopt, think about it.
Shelter animals may seem like more of a challenge than your average adoptee, but with the right training, they can make an amazing companion. Top Dog Obedience featured some of the dogs they train at the event, including Jules, who is quite chatty,
Doc? Yeah!
and her brothers, who don't seem to mind.
Spin. Spin. Wow, you're perfect!
While attending the event with its owner, another shelter sweetheart named Momo learned to dance. If commitment is an issue, Richardson Animal Services partners with Doggy Day Out.
I think of it like a library where you can come and check a dog out for a day and take them out and love on them some and bring them back, and just to give the dogs a little break and keep the kennel stress as low as possible. So,
thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again here tonight at 6 on North Texas Television.